Hey guys, it's a new day. I'm gonna be taking a break today on the front yard because we just went to town yesterday. We got a bunch of our electrical stuff in, so we're gonna try to finish that up so that we can move into this beast. But real quick, let me show you what we got done on the front yard. So basically what we got done here is we leveled this area out and got all these little weeds out of here for the most part. This is gonna be where we're gonna be putting our van, and when we have guests with their own off-grid RVs, we got a couple buddies. We got my dad, he's got an off-grid RV, my buddy Devin and my buddy Bud. So we got a couple people, or anyone who just wants to camp. We're gonna put cinders here, flatten it out, and then this is our fence line. We'll have a little gate right here, so you know, we'll be in an L and we can kind of all hang out together, have somewhere to chill. I got more weed mat here, a couple more fence stakes. These I'm gonna try to use to brace up the corners. I know it's not traditional, but they were cheap. I'm gonna see if I can figure something out. And then we got stepping stones. This is where our front gate will be, and you just kind of walk straight in. Yesterday we also got a couple water barrels, food grade water barrels, and then we got a steel drum just as a burn barrel, so that's huge for us. We can get rid of a lot of our trash like that. And we also got 4 more bags of this all-purpose stone here to put around the fire pit, just make this nicer. We got some family coming to visit us in May, so we're trying to get it nice, you know. But we're taking a break on the front yard because we got all this stuff, all our electrical components, so I can keep going on the electrical, which is our main goal, so we can move in this thing. But I'll take you inside and show you what we got. Oh yeah, one more thing we got too is these stabilizer jacks for our slide out. We have one slide out on the other side, so I'll be installing those just to kind of brace that thing up. All right guys, so we're back in the RV. This is everything we got, and it's a lot. Let me know in the comments if you guys are even interested in this kind of stuff. This is all just the super technical side of setting up an off-grid electrical system. But yeah, basically we needed to get a bunch more of these crimp-on eyelets. We got these special connectors. We got to do a lot of weird stuff to hook up these. Our sister-in-law actually gave us some really nice solar panels. Thanks, G. They're really nice. So she gave us 3 of these, which is huge. They're 200 watts each. We just had to figure out, they come with their Goal Zero panels, so they come with their own Goal Zero connector. So we're not using it with the Goal Zero battery bank. We're just using it to charge our, you know, Renogy batteries. So we have to snip off their special connector, and then Joyce figured out a way with these guys to connect them to our system. So there's a lot of adapters here for that, and then fuse breakers, of course, just in case. More fuses, circuit breakers. We don't want to burn down, guys, so we use a lot of fuses in between everything. This is our battery monitor, Renogy. So it's gonna tell us how much solar's coming in, how much amps we have on our batteries, how much we're using at any given time. So yeah, that'll be nice just to know everything that's going on. And of course we needed a huge bag of zip ties, a couple more connectors, odds and ends. So should be able to clean up that mess now and get her all finished up. So let's get to it. Let's crimp this crap on and get it going. I realize we've just been working away. We haven't even really shown you guys what we've got done yet back here. So let me give you a quick tour of the work we've already done. So here's what we got done. We got our two 200 amp hour AGM batteries. In the van there, we did lithium, but since this RV is never really going to be moving and you know it's not going to have as hard of a life, we didn't want to spend the money on lithium. So we got two AGM batteries here. Then those batteries come out to our fuse here and here. And then those fuses go to our bus bar. So this is our negative here. Goes to our negative bus bar. Positive goes to an on-off switch so that we can cut power to the whole system at any given time. Then the other side of that on-off switch goes to our other bus bar. And on these bus bars, we'll have all of our loads. So the main load we have is this guy here. This is our inverter, Victron. So this will take our solar power and turn it into usable DC power and AC power. I only have the AC power hooked up now because I needed those eyelets to run the rest. Alright guys, so I'm gonna get to work setting some stuff up and then I'll kind of explain what I did. Alright. Show the process real quick. I'm on my last wire here, last load that I have to hook up. So you take your wire, figure out whatever gauge it is. There's different gauges here on the close up on the strippers. So this is 10 gauge. Take it, strip back like maybe a 1/4 inch about on both sides, positive and ground. Okay, I don't know why, maybe it's my OCD, but I like to twist the strands together. Then you take your heat shrink, slide it on there. You take your connector, put that on there, and I like to twist it on, make sure I get all the strands, and then you're gonna see it pop through the other side there. Now these are color coded, yellow crimps yellow, and so on and so on. Take these, get it to the yellow, and simply squeeze it down as hard as you can. Okay, then you give it the old tug pull test. Feels tight. Slide this puppy up over my heat shrink. Take my lighter, go around that. All around, shrink it down. That's what you're left with. Now I can connect that to my distribution panel. Rinse and repeat about 24 more times for our purposes. And I'll speed up the rest for you. Okay, so essentially what I got here is we got our new distribution block installed, and it's much messier than we usually like, but we wanted to give ourselves, leave the length of wire here. That's why I got all these bundles, because we might be taking this whole entertainment center out one day, and we might want to move this back there into our electrical box. We're just not sure yet. So bundled all this stuff up, and I kept this area over here clear. I ended up having to take this panel off because I needed to get the Blue Seas over here, because our AC panel, this guy, as you can see the depth on it here, he takes up this whole cavity, so there's no way I could have mounted this behind here. So we're probably, well, we're definitely gonna have to make some sort of little access panel here. This guy that I taped up, this is for the trailer part of the house, so it does the power for the towing stuff, you know, the jack, the lights, all that. And we're not gonna move this trailer for a long time, so we opted to just leave this loose for now. Just didn't really want to deal with it. So now what I gotta do is bring power in from our battery bank behind here. Gotta bring that in to the positive stud down here on the Blue Seas, and then this is our power coming in to our 120 side, and this comes out of our inverter. So I need to hook this wire up to this breaker panel here. So I gotta hook that up to this 30 amp switch, and we should be pretty much good on power distribution. We just need to bring power in, hook up the solar, hook up our batteries and everything, and we should be able to go live after that. So exciting stuff. All right, I'll get to work. Stop talking, get to work. So I'm gonna take my ground here, the bare wire, and connect it to my ground bar here. You guys can see that right there. This guy, and that'll ground out all my other loads. Go find my screwdriver. Okay, next I'm going to take my neutral, do the same thing, bring it to the neutral bus. So just kind of measure it out, snip it, crimp it, or strip it. Down, drop your screwdriver, keep tightening it down, and now all that's left is going to be kind of, we're going to get this under here. I'm going to go under. All that's left is this guy, our power, our hot. Got our hot coming in here to our 30 amp breaker right there. We got our neutral in there, and we got our ground right there. That's all there is to it for the AC side. Okay, so now that I got this guy mounted, I got the DC distribution panel mounted. All there is left to do is bring my power wire into this lug, and I'll be done in here. So now I need to make a cable that runs from there through here, and then to my distribution block here. So let's make that cable. Okay guys, so now I'm gonna crimp these eyelets right here onto this wire. A little bit different process, bigger wire. It's a 2 gauge, so we got a special hydraulic crimper tool here. So you get these little fittings here. There's 2 of them, and they make a little crimp like that. So let's see if I can do this. It puts the fitting in like that, and then the hydraulic piston squishes this together, and your wire's in there, and it squishes your eyelet down in there. Makes a really good connection. So we're gonna slip this in here, this in here, close it. Let's crimp this bad boy on. I don't have a wire stripper that goes this big, so I just use my knife. Slip this puppy on. Now you're gonna stick this bad boy through here. You wanna crimp it. Start pumping it. That's what you're left with. Nice tight crimp on there. Okay, now I'm gonna run the wire we just made. Okay, that is tight, not moving. All right, and now let's run this guy to the back here. Is. This is our mount for the inverter, and I can't move it right now because I got these wires going through it, so just gotta work around it. Pull this off. C's, I think, is going on the bottom here. Basically all this is this big wire here is power coming in from our batteries, and it's distributing power to whatever else you hook up to it. So when I hook this up, this guy is giving power to all the loads in the RV. The lights, the fans, you name it, everything. And voila. Okay, so now I'm gonna make my wires for the batteries to connect those to the system. So the process for that is I get this big 2-aught and I just kind of, see if I can do this one hand. I just kind of line it up. So I want this wire to come off of this negative post, come up 90 degree over to this guy. And then the positive wire needs to come off of this post, come over 90 degree and come to this side of the fuse. And then I'll get my Sharpie, mark where I want it, and then honestly, the way I cut these huge wires is I just cut them with this bad boy. So let's get to it. Alright, so now that I got it cut, I gotta crimp this big boy. Okay, so now I got my wire cut to run the inverter to the bus bar. So it's gonna go from here on the Victron. I'll have an eyelet and it'll come right to here. And then this red wire is gonna run over to our board here, which on the board, I'm gonna install this fuse. So if anything happens, this fuse will blow and there will not be a fire. So this side will go to the Victron inverter, and then the other side will go to our bus bar, and that'll bring power to our bus bar. And then for the ground, I got this guy cut to length. It's similar to the positive. It's gonna come in here, come to one of these lugs here with the eyelet. But you don't need a fuse for the ground, obviously, so it's just gonna run straight to our negative bus bar. Okay, so I got all my wires made. I got my inverter all hooked up. So this is my power and ground for the inverter. I don't have those hooked up to the bus bar yet, but I'm about to mount this guy in its place so that I know how to run everything. Okay, we got the mount made here for our Victron inverter. I skirted it in HardieBacker here, 1/4-inch HardieBacker. It's just a cement board that puts a gap between the inverter, which emits heat, and the wood, which is liable to catch on fire. So I got that on the front and the back. I'm getting ready to mount this guy. It just has a little French cleat system here that it hangs on. And then on the bottom of it, there's 2 screws that lock it in. Alright, I got the inverter mounted where it's going. I ended up having to take this corner off to get it in place. But I'll put that back, and then we just got a little cutout here to access the on and off switch for it. And I'll probably put a little trim around that, a rough edge or something. And then I got the inside all cleaned up, so I gotta take this puppy, comes out of the inverter, attach it right there to the bus bar, And I gotta take this one, cut it, put a fuse in here, and then attach that in to this bus bar. Now what I gotta do is hook these batteries to each other in parallel, essentially creating one huge battery bank. So here's the other end of that cable that I had coming out of the parallel connection. That's gonna come to this guy. This is a shunt right here. So this guy is gonna connect to our little LED Renogy screen, and it's gonna tell us what our batteries are at and everything. So connect that guy. Now this other part, this is the fuse, so this fuses our battery in case anything happens here. Okay, almost done. So we've got our batteries hooked into our system, got our inverter hooked into our system, everything's fused. The only thing left to hook up is our solar MPPT controller. This is a 60 amp controller, so we need to hook our solar panels to this and hook this to our bus bars, and we'll be charging our batteries. All right guys, we got our off-grid system all set up. Here's our monitoring system, tells us what our batteries are at, how much they're charged, how many watts are coming in, charging from our solar bank. There's our Bluetooth speaker. Out there, we got our 600 watts of solar. I'm putting this back together right now, but there's our inverter, which we can access on off to this little hole. There's all our wiring, circuit breakers, fuses. Here's our MPPT. Tells us how much is coming in as well. Pretty cool. We're all topped off, so it's just kind of in float mode. So yeah, that's it. We're gonna clean up, seal all this up, and then start moving in. Yoo!
Well, I know how you feel.